Today I'm going to preview Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. It's Bedlam week, baby! And all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today I'm going to preview Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. And you know what that means? It's whipping time, boys. That's right. Whipping little brothers. I'm here for it. But first, I got this book coming out. It's called Let It Bang. Actually, it's out. Why did I say it's coming out? It's been out for like 2 weeks now. And it is on the Oklahoma bestsellers list. If you have not reviewed it on Amazon or Goodreads, I encourage you to go do that. If you haven't bought it, buy the hardback. Please give it away if you already have a copy. It really helps. I'm going to be on the radio more talking about this book. It's really a big deal. I would appreciate your support with it. Now, Oklahoma State comes to Oklahoma, and you know what? Good news is 2:30 kickoff. 2:30 kickoff means we're going to be able to tailgate. If you tailgate, you'll be at a good time in. Also means that we don't have to wake up from an 11 a.m. kickoff or wait for, the late night kick, which I know seems like it's a long time after like the 3 o'clock kickoff games. You're like, got to wait a little bit longer. Still would rather have a 7 o'clock kick than an 11 o'clock kick. 2:30, right there in the middle. Like it a lot. So first, I want to talk about Oklahoma before we get into Oklahoma State. And I got to just reiterate, the secondary did a pretty good job, all things considered, with Texas Tech. But more than that, I tried to stress to folks that this secondary is going to be really, really good in the future. You have Buki, a true freshman. You have Delarian Turner-Yell, a true freshman. You have Robert Barnes, Trey Norwood, Trey Brown are true sophomores, and Justin Burrell is a redshirt freshman. Those dudes alone are going to make up the core of your secondary in the years to come. And with this defensive line coming along, Jalen Redmond, Ronnie Perkins, you're going to get Michael Thompson back. Could be awesome. And that's to say nothing to Chance Sylvie or Starlin Baldwin and what you could get on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, man, Kenneth Murray Jr. as a junior is going to be awesome. You got Levi Draper coming along. You got another year of Caleb Kelly. The defense could be good. Offensively, yes, quarterback is going to be a huge question mark next year because as good as Baker Mayfield was, nobody expected Kyler Murray to be better than him, and that's exactly what we have. Still got CeeDee Lamb. You lose Hollywood Brown. Greg Calcaterra is going to be a force. You get Trey Sermon, Kennedy Brooks, TJ Pledger back. Gonna be great. But in this game, what are the things to watch, particularly on Oklahoma State side? Taylor Cornelius is a middling quarterback. 60% completion rate. The man takes a beating. I don't know why they run so much with him because he looks bad running the ball. I guess he has 2 legs and that's a good reason to run. But I just wish Corndog would just kind of go down because that dude just gets destroyed. Now, the good news for Oklahoma State fans is that he doesn't fold after he gets destroyed. Bad news is he's going to be a pincushion on Saturday because this is the kind of team for which Oklahoma could actually rear back and go get him. Yes, Justice Hill is their best running back, but not its best offensive weapon, and I'll get to that in a bit. But Justice Hill is averaging 6 yards per carry. Bubba Hubbard, dude can run the ball. He's averaging about 7 yards per carry. But the guy to watch is Tylan Wallace. Tylan Wallace is a great wide receiver. He's in that tradition of great wide receivers that have come through Oklahoma State. He has over 1,000 yards receiving on the season. He has been lighting folks up. He had over 200 yards receiving against Texas in that win. And I'd be really scared of him if Oklahoma hadn't already seen really outstanding wide receivers, and if Antoine Wesley didn't already drop nearly 200 yards receiving on 12 catches on Oklahoma last week. I think Tylan Wallace is going to get his, and that is the best offensive weapon for Oklahoma State. So if you could take away Tylan Wallace and you make Corndog go to guys like Dylan Stoner, Landon Wolf, or Tyron Johnson, you're going to be able to get to Oklahoma State in a big way. But defensively, they're a dumpster fire. Yes, Jordan Brailford is awesome. He's great coming off the edge. When Calvin Bundish can go, they're pretty good. But they give up so many penalties. Like, we were so upset with what the entire team did against Texas Tech in penalties. 10 for 113 yards. Oklahoma State did better. They had 133 yards penalties against Baylor in a loss. Then, they go down to Waco. They get beat in homecoming. But I don't know what you do after that. Because Baylor ain't great, but Baylor ain't good. That's a Baylor team Oklahoma dropped 66 on. And to get the kind of performance, not particularly just out of the offense, but out of the defense, from Oklahoma State, after they just mopped the floor with Texas. I say mopped the floor. They narrowly beat Texas. It seemed like a signature win. Actually, it is a signature win. And then you go drop one to Baylor. What do you got going on Oklahoma State? You don't know if you're coming or going. And as bad as that team look, most folks believe that they're going to save their best game for Oklahoma anyway, which, okay, we can tend to take it that way. And seeing as Kyler Murray looked mortal against Texas Tech, and seeing that you got a bad game out of CeeDee Lamb, and you weren't able to get all the pressure that you wanted on a quarterback that can actually make his reads in Alan Bowman, yes, there is a road for Oklahoma State winning this game. But it's a very narrow road, and they have to walk it straight. Look, I can't say that I'm really concerned about this Oklahoma State game. Not even to the degree that I might have been worried about it last year. Like, this is a game where it feels like Oklahoma should win by 3 touchdowns, but it is Bedlam. It is a rivalry game, in quotes, because, well, Oklahoma's got 87 wins to 18 losses in this thing, or something stupid. But also, this is a big game because if Oklahoma doesn't win it, you can kiss the college football playoff goodbye. Doesn't matter what Michigan does. Doesn't matter what Georgia does. It only matters that you have to win. Now, factoring in you have to win means taking into account Oklahoma State scores about 38 points per game. Taking into account Taylor Cornelius does pass for about 290 yards a game. Taking into account Justice Hill has 776 yards on the ground and 7 TDs, and he can get loose and he can hurt you. However, you also got to take into account they're going to hurt themselves. They're going to pick up penalties. They are the Big 12's most penalized team. That means they're the most undisciplined team in all of this conference. They're 7th in the conference standings, 5-4 on the year. They're 2-4 in the conference. They really don't have a whole lot left to play for, except to try to get bowl eligible. They love to do that against Oklahoma, but I really expect them to show up and just try to incite something. And Oklahoma State has nothing to be excited about except maybe, I don't know, the Alamo Bowl if they can somehow pull out a couple wins, but I don't even see that happening. So for Oklahoma, the game plan looks a lot like the game plan against Texas Tech, honestly. You want to run the ball. You want to run the ball effectively. You want to let Kyler Murray open up the passing game, do what he does with his legs, and you want to get a stout defensive performance. Like, that's really the thing that I think most people are going to get upset about and continue to get upset about is they think the defense is just garbage. They think the defense is just trash because it gave up 46 to Texas Tech and it didn't look great doing it. I continue to tell folks, you got 2 interceptions out of Kyler Murray, back-to-back series. The defense was put into a hole. It fought out. After getting up 31 points in the first half, gave up just 15 in the second half. Adjustments were made. Now, I know that nobody likes the 3-man front, including myself. Nobody likes the 7-yard cushions, including myself. But what I do like is that this team wants to play for Ruffin McNeil, and he wants to make the game simple. And the stat that I think folks need to focus on from the Texas Tech game and bring it into Oklahoma State is that the defense held Texas Tech to 3 of 13 on third down. If they do that against Oklahoma State, you're winning again. Oklahoma State is middle of the pack at third down conversions, ranking 60th at 39%. You can hold them underneath that. It's also a team that is garbage against the pass, ranking 90th, giving up 257 yards per game. We know what Kyler Murray can do with the pass. I expect him to get torched. On the ground, they're a bit better against the run, but I think that's a lot to do with 4-2-5 because they run it as base, but I also will see 3 down linemen from time to time, and they'll drop a safety into the box, but that shouldn't be anything that scares Oklahoma because the offensive line is frankly really, really good. Trey Sermon looks like the feature back. He's coming off of a career day against Texas Tech, but even if he doesn't look the part, we know that Kennedy Brooks can come in and do it, and you can get some jitterbug from TJ Pledger. What I'm saying is, the more that I study this game, the better I feel about it as an Oklahoma fan, and perhaps that's the only real reason to be a little afraid is to feel this confident going into a Bedlam game feels a bit wrong, honestly. Feels like it should be a tighter thing because the two teams don't like each other and because this is at Owen Field and because we'll know that Mike Gundy's probably going to throw the kitchen sink at Oklahoma. But even if that's the case, I expect Oklahoma to absorb any hit that Oklahoma State is able to land and continue to just score points. Point is, you still got to score 45 if you want to compete with Oklahoma. Texas Tech scored 46, still lost by 5. This is not just a winnable game for Oklahoma. This is a game for which you can get style points on an in-state rival. That's a win. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.